Hey guys, what's going on? We got another PvP video. We're playing Enhancement Shaman. Pre-patch was just announced, and this is the 2400 game. As you can see, my matchmaking rating is 2600, so even if I went 2 and whatever, I would still get a bunch of rating. But yeah, anyways, I wasn't gonna record this because I really didn't think it was gonna go well. But you know what? I'm glad I did because it was kind of crazy. But anyways, let's get into this. We got an assassination rogue, we got a holy paladin, we got an arms warrior, we got a rep pally, and we got a mistweaver. So what is the goal here? When I'm with the acid rogue, we're mainly focused on the warrior. The reason being is we don't have to deal with intervene, but at the same time, like you can't just let the paladin do whatever, right? Everybody's a target except for the mistweaver. The mistweaver has a lot of escape potential, so that's why we're not going to bother with him. But the rook is doing an amazing job at CCing. Um, as you can see there, I backed off a little bit because I knew the warrior still had fear, and we were all kind of grouped up together. So I was like, maybe I should peel back, get ready to drop a tremor totem, and sure enough, it did. And here, the pally gets a nice rep off, and then I went for a follow-up hex. Unfortunately, it was full DR, but then the rogue gets a really nice spoke bomb here. Unfortunately, the rep pally does a good play and gets a double blind there on both of us, so it kind of saved the warrior there. But here, our main focus as an enhancement shaman in this melee monster cleave lobby is we're the disruptive one, right? We're going to be very disruptive to the healer, whether it being interrupts, being CC, all that stuff, rooting, just being annoying to everybody. As you can see here, I took Poison Cleanse Totem. It's very disruptive to Assassination Rogues specifically, all rogues in general, but very, very good against Assassination Rogues because it removes their Mortal Strike and a bit of damage as well. But you can see here, our main focus is going to be on the Assassination Rogue just because they do take a lot of damage. I'm kind of being careful here, trying to pull back, get these guys LOS from their healers. So you can see me start pulling the rogue far away. I'm just trying to pull him away. Get a bit of a lasso. It was kind of a waste of a lasso, but I mean, the warrior charged and interrupted. So here they're about to set up for the paladin. So I'm just getting ready to give him a bit of assistance. You know, give him a heal, give him my earth shield again. You know, try and help him out, make sure he survives. So I'm also running Counter-Strike here because I just felt like it was the only option. I could have went with Static Fling, but I really didn't feel like it was worth it. Here I'm going for a Hex. I got their kick, so I was like, okay, free Hex. Let's get it. Full Hex on the Mistweaver right there. And you can see both of them are just kind of falling a little bit. I'm getting ready to interrupt the Mistweaver. I know he wants to cast, so I'm getting ready for that. Surprisingly, he just tops them off without casting, which was unbelievable to me. Pally gets a nice blind, so I go ahead and lasso the rogue. The warrior sees that instantly, gets the charge interrupt, and you can see there I got the kickoff, and the rogue almost fell over, but he was able to cloak and get the bubble off too. So bit scary, but we pull through a little bit. So you can see here they start pushing me. Thankfully we have 2 paladins, so that means we have a lot of blessing of protections, which is kind of crazy. I was getting ready to burrow there, but I got the blessing of protection, so I didn't bother. So there's an interrupt on the monk. He comes in for the leg sweep. Thankfully it's full DR'd on me, so I get a whole lot of damage ready to go. There's his revitalize, but I don't know if he was running his full thing. And also the rogue applied deadly poison there, which I never noticed before, which was quite interesting. There I went for a hex, but ate the kick, so we had nothing. Here we get, I believe we got cheat death on that one, and they both left chasing the paladin. So I was like, okay, free hex. Didn't get too much out of it, but here you can start seeing he jumps over to the monk. Really close to the monk right now. There goes the warrior's defensive. There's a hodge on the healer. Both of them can go down at any time. Good knock, and we get the warrior down. So either of them would have fell over at that point. We had so much damage going out that it was just ready to go. But yeah, as you can see, I'm the main focus for most of these matches, but I'm also doing the most disruption, interrupting the healer, hexing them, making sure, and also supporting my teammates. That's the big part. Supporting and being disruptive is the main part of Shaman. Damage comes a little bit after. You can do a significant amount of damage and be very disruptive at the exact same time. You just have to get used to it and get ready for it and know when to place stuff as well. So here, the rogue has a lot of damage going out, so he also has Mark of Death on me, so I just go ahead and lasso him, right? Just stop his damage a little bit. Although you can't really stop bleeds, but you know what? Might as well stop him from reapplying stuff. There's the monk casting. I go ahead and kick that. Get it early. There is the bubble. So now we're going to hit the pally just because, you know, there's no point in hitting into cocoon right now because that would just be a waste of damage. So we just start blasting the paladin. I drop poison cleanse, clear a poison. The paladin does get CC'd, but thankfully I cleared poison, so we got a little bit of leeway. The rogue was stunned there, so I was able to get a free hex off. I wasn't too worried about the paladin kicking me because he was focused on the warrior. But there we get bubble, we have sacrifice, so they really don't have anything other than revitalize, or revival, I guess it is right now. So the paladin runs in and gets a nice hodge on the healer. There we get cloak, so the healer is going to be going in. There's the hodge on our healer, so he goes ahead and pulls bubble, and I overlapped with burrow, unfortunately, but I think it was worth it in the end. Just, you know, stop damage on me, don't have to use any more else. So here the rogue pulls out, so we're going to go ahead and just hit the paladin. I'm going to back off a little bit, just make sure this rogue can't get a re-stealth. If he gets a re-stealth, that's a huge amount of damage about to go out, right? Because when he gets a re-stealth, he gets his AoE Garrett and stuff like that, or Garrote and Rupture, so that would be a lot of damage. Here they all stack up. The warrior gets a big Blade Storm, lots of CC going on the Mistweaver. We got a huge amount of damage on this rep pally. I trinket, and we are able to get him out of there. So yeah, he did revival, but I guess he's not running the magic community. But now we're on the team with the rep pally as well as the Mistweaver bug. So my goal is to get in combat as soon as possible because I know the rogue wants a sap. But unfortunately, the Mistweaver didn't have a heal on me in time, so we didn't quite get him in combat. But here, we get a huge amount of damage, right? They got a good opener because they got the sap on the Mistweaver, but we were able to play it off. So I see sacrifice. I start putting them LOS because I know the paladin needs LOS, right? The warrior follows me a little bit, so I start pushing him. I lasso him away. The rep pally can see it and is trying to hit, but can't quite connect. I see a fear about to come out. Go for the hex. I get stunned. So I just go ahead and trinket tremor just to make sure the monk is out of that fear. Unfortunately, I was silent, so I couldn't get the rep from the holy paladin. It's quite a shame. But here I get the rogue kick. There, he gets a hodge and a sap, so quite a lot of damage went out, but I get a hex off on the holy paladin. So here we're about to spin the damage. As you can see, the rogue goes down. There's lay on hands. There's evasion. We get a huge amount of damage on him real fast. Nobody's killing the counter strike. And there you can see the holy paladin. He got it. I went ahead and kicked his flash of light. Here I should have pushed them a bit more LOS, I think, forcing the paladin into a worse spot. But there, they were going for a rep. Didn't quite get it. I go ahead and lasso just to stop him from getting any form of CC on the monk so he can catch up with the rep pally. There he went for the rep again, so I go ahead and interrupt that. He did complain about letting reps through, but I felt like we got a fair amount of them. I don't know. But here we get Searing Glare and Shockwave, so it didn't really matter. I see them setting up for damage because the rogue ran off and kidneyed. So I went ahead and walled just to make sure I'm fine. But you can just see a lot of damage is going out. I see Flash of Light. I don't have my interrupt, but the paladin gets a nice hodge here. So I'm like, okay, there's Bop. Go ahead and instantly perch that. I get kidneyed. I'm like, crap, I can't do anything. The paladin's spamming Flash of Light. I get the kick last second. Quick damage on the warrior. It was fairly lucky on that one. But yeah, now we are 4 wins out of 6. And now we're back with the rogue and the Mistweaver. So I want to sit back. I want to let my rogue get a sap off. That is the goal. Unfortunately, the monk used his statue, allowing them to get combat. But he still gets a bunch of AoE Garrotes off and stuff like that. So I'm just getting ready. I see the rep paladin. He gets a nice kidney on the holy paladin. This gives us a really good setup here. Get a huge amount of early damage. I'm going to run over, go for a hex. Full hex on the holy paladin. I see the fear. I trinket tremor, move my totem over to him so he gets removed out of it. It is a bit annoying to do that, but it is very important to, so that way, because it is their opener, right? So here I messed up and I kicked the wrong person. I meant to kick the paladin, but I think I kicked the warrior or something. So I just kind of run off a little bit, making sure I'm not taking too much damage. Try and knock the paladin back into the smoke bomb. There he went for a rep, so I went ahead and got that kicked. Go for the hex, trying to juke kicks. Warrior kicks me. Okay, that's fine. He gets bopped, so I just go ahead and hex anyways, because hex isn't physical, so that means we get a lot. There's die by the sword. So you get quite a good rotation of defensives out of them. So now we're ready to take somebody out, right? The Ret Pally still does have bubble, but they don't really have anything for the Arms Warrior. So I am trying to push either of them. We get Vengeance, we get his wall, we get Bop. I should have already pulled off the Bop, but took me a minute. There, the Bop falls off. There's the Holy Paladin's bubble. So now they have absolutely nothing left except for the Rep Paladin being able to bubble. There he went for a rep. He had precog, but I was able to get the kick off at the last second. So you'll see here in a second we get, he actually kicks the Searing Glare. That's huge. He went for the Tears, he gets that, Hand of Divinity. They're really pushing me, so I'm like, oh crap. I should have already walled by now, but I guess, I don't know. I don't know why I haven't walled yet. It's kind of weird. Get an interrupt on the Holy Paladin. This is where your disruption comes in very key. We're getting close to the end of the match. There's Searing Glare. The Rogue does a good job at forcing him to stop that. Get a huge amount of damage, and there goes the Warrior. I had my kick up. That's why the Holy Paladin was being very wary. He had to either juke the kick or, you know, get interrupted. So it was kind of funny. But this is the final match. It was kind of an interesting one because I really didn't think we were going to take him out when we did. But anyways, again, Rep Pally, Assassination Rogue. Our focus is going to be hitting the Rogue. He already cloaks, which is very, very surprising. So I go ahead and right out of that stun, I want to wall. I don't really want it to trinket that because he hasn't smoke bombed yet. So that's the important part, is to save your trinket for smoke bomb, or else that's where you're going to see a lot of damage come out. So I see sacrifice. I see it about to end. So I was going to set up for a hex, but there wasn't really a point because the rogue came back. He was about to kick me. So, but there, both sacrifices are down. I get full kidney. I go ahead and trinket burrow because I was certain the monk was in CC, but I guess he wasn't. So I knocked the pally to interrupt his rep. He tries to run back, so I get a hex on him. It also knocked everybody else back. Here, we get a huge amount of damage, and he actually dies after his vanish. But yeah, that's how I got 2400 in this match. A solid 6-0. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Laters!